Gabriel, don't go live.
Okay, hello everybody. We're about to get started here.
And hello everyone, and welcome to Space Daily and Space Today's joint coverage of a special mission, the SpaceX and Turksat 5A. This is being carried out by SpaceX, who is owned by now the richest man in the world, Elon Musk. Gabriel, can you tell us about this mission?
This mission, Turksat 5A, is a launch by it's being launched by Turkey, and it's a network satellite that's going to bring network to Turkey. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you a little bit about the Falcon 9 rocket, and I'll show you a picture of it. So, Chrome tab. Okay, you ready? Okay. So, this is a Turksat Falcon 9 Turksat 5A launch live stream. You can ask questions in the chat. And the rocket is the Falcon 9, which is a part reusable spacecraft that is developed and launched by SpaceX. Falcon 9 booster will land on the drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. Falcon 9 is a rocket that has been launched successfully 100 times and has been launched a total of 104 times. Like I said, 2 of them not fully successful.
Yeah, those two, I believe, were the Amos 6 and was it CRS 7?
I think it was CRS 2.
Yes,
so that's the Turksat 5A satellite down here. So yeah. Our upcoming launch is Starship. I haven't had a chance to finish this, but Starship is going to be launching soon.
Yeah, we're going to do a very special Starship stream. That's going to be over on the Space Today YouTube channel. Could be on Space Daily. We're not sure, but we're going to have crazy graphics. We're going to have some stuff that will probably blow away today. This was kind of a last-minute stream. If you couldn't make it, it's fine. Again, is it Saturday or Sunday for Starship?
Starship, I think, is Saturday. It's no earlier than the 9th, which is Saturday. So yeah. Saturday or later, depending on, we're not sure. But.
Yeah, so Saturday we'll see you for Starship. But let's talk about, Gabriel kind of started off about some facts about this. So this will be the 104th Falcon 9 launch, the 50th reflight of a booster. So the booster, they reuse it. This will be the 50th time they will reuse a booster. This will be the 71st booster landing if successful. I think there's a pretty good chance. This will be the first launch for SpaceX in 2021, the first space launch in 2021, I believe. China could have launched something, but we're not going to talk about that here. Anyways, moving on, we're about T-minus a couple of minutes. Is SpaceX ready? Because I heard there might be a delay.
Yeah, it's currently unknown when they're launching. So we're not sure. Although, yeah.
So again, we might be in a delay for it, but yeah, again, SpaceX has a 4-hour window. So that window lasts till about 11, 12, so pretty late at night. We're not going to be here for the whole thing. Again, they're in a little hold. This is normal, but yeah, I mean, the launch is supposed to happen at 8:29. They could go well. SpaceX has not started their stream. They haven't. We're going to check. I believe let's see, on their Twitter, they just posted weather is 70% favorable. That was a couple of hours earlier, but they said Actually, that's all they did. So Elon Musk on his Twitter said, no, he did not say anything. So I don't know where we got this from. I just read this. But yeah, again, we're right now in a hold. So far it has not been an official live broadcast of it being available to the public from SpaceX, nor are they giving the press the mission control audio. So again, we'll see what's going on here. Anything to add, Gabriel? Again, this is normal. This is nothing wrong. Looks like they are going to start their webcast at 8:30, so that would mean launch around 8:45. No.
Yep.
Yeah, again. Everything.
Yeah, so I'm just taking a look at SpaceX's website. Yeah, they're expected to go live at 8:30. Once again, we're not sure if it'll get pushed back or if we'll have launch right now, today, and everything will be fine, although you never know when it comes to spaceflight.
Yeah, again, weather is 70% favorable in Florida. So yeah, again, let's talk about Starship.
Wait, before we do that, we've got two questions. Is there any room on board for Trump? We might be able to speak to them.
Well, actually, they can't because this is not a crewed launch.
Yeah. Hi, this is Sid. What rocket's going to launch today? Are there going to be people on this rocket? No, there are not going. People are not going to orbit. It is Turksat 5A that's launching, and it'll be launching aboard the Falcon 9 rocket on its 104th mission. So yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. But again, we're currently on the SpaceX website. Nothing going on. Again, this mission it's not fully classified. It's a semi-classified. Again,
yep.
Just like the Anisis 2, it has to do with another country, and they asked for it. I think that they have the option to do it, but yeah. Again, the window opens at 8:28, so we should be fine now. Gabriel, do you want to talk a little bit about Starship's recent static fire?
So SN9's recent static fire was a big step into its upcoming launch, which we're hoping for Saturday or Sunday later, although no earlier than Saturday. We are, as we prepare for this launch, we are nervous because it's only the second time they're going to attempt this, and it's going to be the first time they're going to attempt it with what they fixed, and what they fixed.
Yeah.
They put helium in the upper tanks so that the pressure wouldn't be lost. Because that's what caused it to fail last time. So that's how they fixed SN9. And we're hoping to have a successful launch today.
So we're getting confirmation here that it is a range violation issue. So basically, what that means is there's someone in Florida that downrange that is on a boat. They're gonna get that person away for everyone's safety. They probably don't know, hopefully, but it's just for our safety. They said count should resume pretty soon. But yeah, also there is a backup window Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. SpaceX just said that to the FAA. So what we're gonna do here is, Gabriel, if that's okay with you, we're gonna take a 1-minute break, and then we're going to come back to see if anything happens. Sound good? We'll take your questions.
Yep. Okay. 1-minute break. We'll see you guys in a moment. Okay, 1 second here. We've got something to
share with you. So last week, a couple of weeks ago, SpaceX did a Starship SN9 Hawk. SN8, and we're going to show you a recap video of that. Then we're going to take a 30-second break, and then we'll update you on what's going on in tonight's SpaceX Turksat 5A launch.
Okay, here we go. Share. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Stage route is go for flight.
Full screen. Welcome back to Space Today and Space Daily's live coverage of the the SpaceX Turksat 5A launch. We just have breaking news that the launch is about to happen in an hour. We're going to take questions, but I believe we might sign off. Gabriel, what's the plan?
Thank you, Nathan. So the plan is, so the launch is in an hour, you said?
Yeah, so I don't think we'll continue.
So how about we take questions now, and then we'll take a break for about 45 minutes, and then we'll come back for the launch.
Yeah, well, I believe the launch is at 9:20, but what about we'll take questions, and if anything happens, we'll see.
Yep, okay. So our first question is, who's paying for the launch and the satellite? So obviously SpaceX is paying for launch, although Turkey is going to be paying them to launch the Turksat 5A for them. So yeah, we want rockets. Like Nathan said, the launch is in an hour, of course, so that was really cool. So thank you, Nathan. Any other questions? Write in the chat. I'll be happy to answer them.
Yeah, and again, Gabriel, actually, after this, we're going to cut to the live coverage from our friends at Turkey TV World, and they're doing live coverage with special guests. So we'll show them, and then we're going to cut over to us if anything happens. So that's the plan. You can ask questions. And if there's enough, we'll come back and do that. So that's the plan, Gabriel. Sounds good?
That sounds great.
So I'll share my screen.
Okay.
And if there's any technical issues, we'll be on it. Again, thank you so much for watching. If anything happens, we'll tell you. And
what's the rocket speed? That really depends. Let me just answer this one quickly. It really depends. Gotta say, though, it from 0 to I don't know how much, although it goes pretty fast once in orbit. I think the fastest it gets is right over 75,000 miles per hour. I think.
Yeah. And again, what it's doing is it's trying to get to 400 kilometers in the air to get to a low Earth orbit. So it has to go pretty fast to match orbital velocity. And to get to space, you just have to go up. To stay in space, you have to go really fast and perform a certain maneuver, which is what Astra, an up-and-coming rocket company, tried to do, and that was their mistake. So, Gabriel, why don't you tell everyone about Astra's?
Yeah. So we do. So first of all, yes, we do live stream other launches. Although SpaceX is a big one, we don't do everyone since some of them we're not able to make it to. Although yes, Astra. What do you want me to talk about in that general?
Just what happened.
Yep. So they launched first over the summer. They intentionally shut down the engines due to a failure. I'm not sure in what, but they decided engines and that due to that shutdown, it landed and crashed. And then the second flight, by the way, Nathan, we can't hear you if you're talking.
Speaking, I have some tech issues.
Okay. Now I kind of hear you, although you're glitching out. Okay. Anyway, the second flight, they were three seconds away from engine shutdown, and it automatically shut down for some reason. On the second stage, causing them to just be out of range of orbit, and it crashed into the ocean. Although they're so optimistic that they are planning on launching again sometime soon, although this time with a payload. What is a Turksat 5A is another question. Turksat 5A is Turkey's. Turkey's. One second. It's Turkey's network satellite that's going to bring network to Turkey and other countries in the Middle East, and so that's what it's going to do. So yeah. Any more questions? We'll be happy to answer.
All right. Sorry, I had some tech problems, but now, Gabriel, if you can share what I'm showing on my screen.
Yeah, sure. I actually don't see it, so Nathan, I'll share it. You just send the link to me, and I'll do it.
Okay. It's just look up on YouTube TRT World.
Okay. Okay. They currently aren't live, I think.
It's called TRT World, just on YouTube.
I know, that's what I'm on.
Oh.
Okay, thank you. We will keep up the good work.
All right.
Just send me the link in the. Oh yeah, there we go.
What about how about we're gonna, unless anything happens, we're gonna stop streaming. Does that sound good?
Sure, I guess.
All right.
But okay, so the launch is probably gonna be at 9:30 as of now.
All right.
Okay.
At Turkey's
there we go.
space program. So when we
found
talk
it.
to officials, they're kind of reluctant to talk about this on camera, the political dimension to this. But what Turkey wants to tell others is that there is a program that it's working on. It has made gains on that. And that very soon, as some Turkish officials say, Turkey is going to be one of the 10 countries with the capacity to domestically produce, test, and basically launch its own satellites.
Well, this is such an exciting time, Hassan, and I'm sure it's just the beginning of the relationship between SpaceX and the Turkish government. Thanks for being with us, Hassan. We'll cross back to you a little bit later. Well, the president of the Turkish Space Agency, Serdar Hüseyin Yıldırım, says the launch marks a new era for Turkey's future space endeavors.
Turksat 5A satellite has been manufactured outside, like the 5B satellite, which is going to be launched later by other companies. As Turkey's space agency, our desire is to manufacture domestic satellites at the highest possible rate. We want to make the launching part with the local facilities. Therefore, our efforts will continue in this way.
All right, let's bring in TRT World's editor-at-large, Yusuf Arab, who joins us now live from Istanbul. Yusuf, pretty exciting for this launch. What can
years before, and we're actually talked about the details of what's going on today. So it has a couple-year history, this relationship, and it's a very important day for Turkey launching this satellite, because we know that Turkey has greatly invested in its spacefaring ambitions, and they want to strengthen their space-related know-how as well. This is all part of Turkey's National Technology Initiative scheme. And as Hassan mentioned earlier, when we look at Turkey.
Okay, we've got a question. How many countries does SpaceX work with?
Well,
with whoever wants to pay for their satellites. That's it. We are not going to. I don't think we're going to sign off because it's going to be launching soon. What did you say, Nathan?
Nothing. I said bye and stay tuned for the Starship hop.
Yep. So I'm going to stay on, but my host, Nathan, is going to sign off. Okay, we're going to take a break here, and never mind. So yeah, I'm going to leave you with some mission control audio. Let me just pull it up quickly. 1 second.
Satellite. Stay with us.
Okay, 1 second. Here we go. Let me just share my screen and we'll continue. Nathan had to leave, but otherwise everything's going good. Okay, this is mission control here. Let's see what they say. Okay, any questions, feel free to write in the chat, but everything is looking good. I'm still not sure when they're launching, although let me just take a look. Okay.
in Armenia recently.
Okay. We're T-minus 39 minutes, I think. So yeah. Actually, apparently I made a mistake with spelling it. In the U in Turksat. Let me just do this quickly. I missed something, so let me edit it. Okay, let me just save the changes and then I'll do the same. Okay, it's spelled differently, but any questions, feel free to write in the chat. And we're expecting a launch around 9:25. Looks like the mission controllers are just chilling right now. Let me just hide it so that I could fix it. There we go. Okay, any questions? I'm running out of things to do. Oh, let me just take a look. I'll talk about the upcoming launches. So, so the Falcon 9 Block 5 Turksat 5A is launching today. The window start. Then we've got a launch of Starship SN9. The window opened on. The window opens on Saturday, like I said with Nathan, and anywhere later.
Load poll is complete. All these go for prop load.
Okay, they're starting the propellant load. So that's good news. Next up here, let me actually stop that share. Let me stop share, and I'm gonna share my other screen. And this is in courtesy of Everyday Astronaut. So thank you. This is the launch that we're covering right now, the Falcon 9 Block 5 Turksat 5A. Then we've got Starship SN9 12.5 kilometer hop. Then we've got the Launcher 1 Demo 2 flight after a failure on their first one. Then there's the Falcon 9 Block 5 Transporter 1, which is a dedicated SSO rideshare mission. So Transporter 1 is going to be SpaceX's first their first rideshare mission that's dedicated to rideshare, not just one single payload. Yes, I am going to cover the launch at 9:30. I'm pretty sure that I am. If not, I'll let you guys know so you can stay on, Grandpa. So yeah, let me just go back here. Next up is going to be the Electron. Another one leaves the crust. Funny name for it. It's going to be launched by Rocket Lab, and that the window starts in 8 days, almost. And then in 23 days, Electron STP 27RM, which is also by Rocket Lab, is, like I said, starts in 23 days. Then Kaozo 1A Jillian O2D is launched for China, and yeah. And there's a lot more. So hopefully we'll be able to cover some of them, or as many as we can. So yeah, let me actually remove you. Sorry, I just had myself going on another. Okay, let me just share my other screen. Okay. We're T-minus 35 minutes till launch, so getting closer. Once again, any questions? Oh, it's actually launching at 9:15. That's good to know. Launch is at 9:15. Made a mistake when I was calculating. Okay, 9:15 launch. So SpaceX
Launch sequence has started.
I didn't hear that. Let's go back.
Launch auto sequence has started.
Okay, so they're getting. That's the auto sequence for launch has begun. We're getting really close to launch, and I'm really happy for SpaceX. So, yeah. Let's see. Okay. Please write your questions in the chat. I'll be happy to answer them. And for the launch at 9:15. Okay, team is targeting a 9:15 p.m. launch for tonight's Falcon 9. So yeah. Oh, my dog wants to get it. Okay. Hope you guys are having fun. Put this on. Okay, 33 minutes to launch. Oh, I've got something else I want to share. So stop share, screen share, Chrome tab. Okay. So here we've got a little breakdown of what's going to happen in any drone ship launch. So it'll launch here. It'll have an ascent. Then over here there will be a we'll have MECO and stage separation. Then the flip NAS maneuver, where the cold gas thrusters flip the first stage, and then the grid fins will deploy. The entry burn, where the engines light again to slow down the first stage. Then aerodynamic guidance. The grid fins steer lift produced by the first stage, and then we'll have a vertical landing. And just read the instructions because you have to. So we are currently T minus. We're currently T minus 32 minutes. So the first stage LOX or liquid oxygen loading is currently in the process, and at T minus 16 minutes, which is in which is in 11 minutes. Will start, and then at T minus 7 minutes, the Falcon 9 will begin engine chill before the launch. Then at T minus 1 minute, the command flight computers begin the final pre-launch checks, and then at the same time, the propellant tank pressurization to flight pressure begins. Then T minus 45 seconds, the SpaceX launch director verifies go for launch. Then at T minus 0 seconds, the engine controller commands engine ignition sequence start, and then Falcon 9 lift off at T minus 0 seconds, not T minus, not T plus. Now the launch, landing, and deployment. Let's go over that. And these are all approximate. So 1 minute and 12 seconds we'll have max Q, which is most aerodynamic pressure that is experienced on the vehicle. Then at T plus 2 minutes and 34 seconds, we will have MECO, the first stage main engine cutoff. Then 4 seconds later, the first and second stages will separate. Then at T plus, or 8 seconds after that, the second stage engine will start. Then at T plus 3 minutes and 37 seconds, the fairing will deploy. Then T plus 6 minutes and 17 seconds, first stage entry will begin. And at T plus 8 minutes and and 2 seconds, the second stage engine cutoff or SECO happens. Then then 16 seconds after that, we'll have the first stage landing, and 18 minutes after that, we'll have SES 2 or second stage engine restart. I don't think I'll be able to cover that. Let me see. I'll actually just clarify with my mom if we can do that, although I'm pretty sure no. And then just 1 minute and 12 seconds after that, we'll have SECO 2 or second stage engine cutoff, number 2. And then 5 minutes after that, and 1 second to be exact, Turksat 5A will deploy. So we're going to take a quick little break here. We'll be back in a second, or in 30 seconds to be exact. Ready? Let's begin. Okay, so the launch is still expected. Launch is still expected for 9:15. So we're gonna take a quick little break until a couple minutes before launch, and that's when we'll start. So I'm going to share my screen quickly so that I don't leave you there with nothing. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's this one. So here, I'll leave you with that, and I'm gonna be right back. So about 15 minutes, and I'll be back. So, okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, everybody. We are getting ready for the launch here. We are still expecting a launch at we're still expecting a launch for we're still expecting a launch so we so we are expecting a launch for 9:15. So yeah. Okay. So yes, the launch will be coming up soon, targeting 9:15. So we hope you guys are doing well. So yeah. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them, and yeah. Okay. My favorite SpaceX's intro. Let's watch it.
Ignition. Liftoff.
Falcon 9 has cleared the tower.
Ten, 9, 8,
Side booster ignition.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year, everyone, and good evening. It is Thursday, January 7th, and you're tuning in to SpaceX's first mission for 2021. On your screen is a live view of the Falcon 9 rocket awaiting its 8:28 p.m. Eastern Time launch from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. My name is Michael Andrews, and I'm a supply chain supervisor here at SpaceX, and welcome to the Turksat 5A webcast for our customer Airbus. Today's payload is a fifth-generation broadcast communication satellite for the Turksat fleet, designed and developed by Airbus. With an expected lifespan of more than 30 years, this new communication satellite is designed to provide television broadcast services and improve broadband data networks across a large geographic area, including Turkey, Europe, the Middle East, North Africa, Central West Africa, South Africa, as well as the Mediterranean, Aegean, and Black Seas. Now, before we explore more about today's payload, let's first take a closer look at the Falcon 9 vehicle supporting today's mission. The Falcon 9 rocket you see on your screen is standing at about 229 feet or 70 meters tall. And the bottom two-thirds of that V is what we call. Now, while this is the first launch of 2021, today's booster is taking flight for its fourth time. It previously supported the GPS-3 Service Vehicle 3 mission in July 2020, as well as two Starlink missions, one in September 2020 and one a month later in October 2020.
This one's different.
Falcon 9's first stage is responsible for accelerating the vehicle all the way to the edge of space, after which it will separate from the second stage, carrying that Turksat 5A satellite.
Why?
And once separation is complete, we will attempt to recover the first stage on our drone ship for the fourth time. That drone ship you can see on your screen, known as Just Read the Instructions, is currently holding position in the Atlantic Ocean a couple hundred miles off the coast of Florida. And if we stick that landing today, for those of you keeping score, it's going to be SpaceX's overall 71st successful booster recovery. Now, after the first and second stage separate, the second stage will ignite its single Merlin vacuum or MVAC engine to carry the Turksat 5A satellite to a geostationary orbit. And at the very top, above the second stage, at the top of the rocket, you see a nose cone-shaped object. We call this particular assembly the payload fairing. It's 17 feet diameter, 43 feet tall, 5 meters diameter, 13 meters tall. And this fairing houses today's satellite. Now, to transport the satellite safely, the fairing is designed to protect the satellite from aerodynamic heating, loads, and any kind of atmospheric contamination during ascent. And once we get through the Earth's atmosphere and reach the vacuum of space, the payload will no longer need this protection. We're then going to jettison the fairing halves so we don't have to carry around that extra weight. And the second stage will continue with the satellite to its targeted drop-off orbit for deployment. Both fairing halves were used during today's mission. They've been flown each. One half previously flew on the 2020 Anasis-2 mission, and the other previously flew on that June 2020 GPS-3 Service Vehicle 3 mission. And following the deployment of today's payload in the air with our recovery vessel Miss Chief, while Miss Tree, the other vessel, will retrieve the other through from the water, what we call a wet recovery. And the last piece of the mix here is that large gray structure next to out the Falcon 9 from the hangar to the launch pad, and it then raises the Falcon 9 to its vertical launch position. The TE also routes things like power, fluids, and communication to both the rocket and the satellite. Prior to the start of our webcast, the Falcon 9 team performed functional checkouts for today's satellite. At T-minus 38 minutes, the team conducted their electronic go, no-go poll, and they gave the okay to proceed into propellant load and launch. Now, to keep both stages of the vehicle cooled close to launch, the team at Cape Canaveral began loading propellant at T-minus 35 minutes. Since the second stage Merlin engine is very similar to those 9 first stage engines, they both use the same propellants. Our fuel is a refined form of kerosene, we call that RP1, and our oxidizer is soup-chilled liquid oxygen, which we call LOX. We chill that LOX to be as cold as we can get it, and it allows us to load more LOX in there because those oxygen molecules are super dense. Both of these factors give us better performance with the Merlin engines. This also helps us to avoid the need to continue topping it off, and it makes up for any losses due to boiling prior to liftoff. Now, at this point, the second stage is fully loaded with RP1, and the first stage will complete RP loading around T-minus 6 minutes. Also, at this time, liquid oxygen is loading onto both the first and second stages, and that'll continue to the last few minutes of the countdown. At T-minus 7 minutes, we begin our engine chill phase. The pre-valves between the first stage engine and the propellant tanks will open. That chills the engines. This is where we cool those turbo pumps in order to avoid thermal shocks when we start the pumps at just T-minus 2 seconds, and it helps us light the Merlin engines. Also, we're loading helium into storage vessels on the first and second stages. During flight, we pass this cold helium through heat exchangers on our Merlin engines. The heat of the gas generator exhaust warms this cold helium and expands it. This expanded helium gas is used to fill the empty volume in our fuel tanks created by the engine pumps pulling propellant out of the first stage. Think of it like your car. We use gravity on a car to keep all the fuel near the bottom of the tank. Here in space, we need helium to push all that fuel towards our turbo pumps. Now, let's take a moment to learn a bit more about our payload today. Weighing in at approximately 3.5 tons, the Turksat 5A satellite provides roughly 10 kilowatts of power. By way of its high reliability and design, this 5th-generation satellite will serve as the fleet's first satellite to operate under an electric propulsion system.
Thank you for tuning in.
And as I mentioned earlier, the Turksat 5A communications satellite was designed by our customer Airbus to provide television services and improve broadband data networks to service areas covering Turkey, Europe, the Middle East, North, Central, West, and South Africa, as well as the Mediterranean, Aegean, and Black Seas. The satellite is scheduled to become fully operational sometime in the second quarter of this year. Now, let's take a moment to learn more about what makes this communication satellite so unique.
Standing by for launch command. T-minus 7.
Turksat. Past, present, and future exist at the same moment. They are all building new experiences that inspire great ideas and breakthroughs in the blink of an eye. In the pursuit of innovative technologies, Turksat, one of the world's leading satellite operators, is now stronger in space with its new satellite fleet. Turksat 3A communication satellite at the 42° east location offers both satellite telecommunication and direct TV broadcasting services via Europe, Turkey, and Central Asia. 4A provides broadcasting services within a wide area covering Turkey, Africa, Europe, the Middle East, and Asia on KU band. Turksat 4B, a multi-band satellite, ensures high flexibility of switchability and connectivity among different service areas and provides services over a wide geographic region between west of China and east of England, spanning Turkey as well as Europe, Central Asia, the Middle East, and Africa on both KU band and KA band. Thanks to Airbus state-of-the-art technology, the most powerful satellite of the Turksat fleet, Turksat 5A, upon being operational with 10 kilowatts payload power, will be active across a wide area at the 31-degree east orbit covering Turkey, Europe, the Middle East, North Africa, Central Asia, South Africa, as well as the Mediterranean and the Aegean Sea and the Black Sea. With its satellite fleet, Turksat focuses on rising values and technologies in satellite communication. Turksat is an alliance of values that opens doors to the world and inspires communication with its reliable and expert staff investing in the knowledge of the future. We are in an age where information is instantly shared. Our expectations are rapidly changing. Technology is leading us to new experiences. We proudly proceed on a path illuminated by the information that makes our lives meaningful in the age of communication. While new experiences inspire great ideas, Turksat of the future invites you to be a part of this moment. Turksat, space age in communications.
Mission control. We have liftoff.
That was part of the video. They didn't have stuff yet.
We're just about 4.5 minutes from liftoff. Shortly, the transporter
Strong
vector
backward
is going
track.
to retract to its
Yeah, under 5
pre-launch
more minutes.
position. We may see in a few seconds here the arms cradling right under those fairings. Watch those open up. What's going to happen is that TE is going to retract
Here, I'll show you
about
where it
2 degrees from the rocket from vertical.
Right over here. Oh, there you go. It's
And you can
retracting.
see right now those arms are opening up just slightly. In a few seconds, you'll see those arms back off as the TE retracts. And it's just, those 2 degrees is just a little bit of movement, but it's enough to clear the rocket to allow it to leave the pad. At liftoff, it's going to move to a position 45 degrees from the rocket.
There we go. We've
See
got
it's starting to retract a little slowly there. First stage fuel loading is complete, and we're currently awaiting for the first stage liquid oxygen loading to complete. And shortly after that, at about T-minus 2 minutes, the second stage's LOX will also complete. One final big milestone before liftoff, you're going to hear the announcement that Falcon 9 is in startup mode. This announcement means that the rocket's own internal computers are now controlling the launch countdown on the Falcon 9. Once the engines are confirmed to be at full power, the flight computer, which is located on the second stage, will command the ground hold downs to release the rocket right at T-minus 0. The satellite team continues to monitor the status and health of the Turksat 5A payload located inside the fairing on the top of the second stage. All systems are go on the satellite. In terms of range and weather, currently everything appears to be on track for an on-time launch. The range is green. We've been monitoring weather. The only primary concern we have is the cumulus cloud, thick cloud rule. But right now, conditions are looking favorable. The percent of violation is 30%. That means there's only a 30% chance of us postponing liftoff. So things are looking good. If for some reason we have a call in today's launch, we may be able to begin again within this launch window tonight. But we do have a similar 4-hour backup opportunity scheduled for tomorrow evening around the same time. But for now, all systems continue to be go for an on-time liftoff at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Time.
And I just want to point out these things that you see over there, those are actually lightning towers. There's 4 of them at Slick 40, which is where they're launching from. So just a fun fact about it. Just wanted to point that out. So yeah, T-minus 1 minute, 55
the launch
seconds.
Loading is complete. It just finished on the second stage, and that is the last milestone for propellant loading prior to liftoff.
Okay.
You're going to start seeing a buildup of white clouds emanating from the Falcon 9. That's perfectly normal.
Yep, we see them right over there.
Excess
Although
liquid
more will
oxygen
start.
Boiling when it's exposed to the ambient temperature of the air around the Falcon 9 fuselage.
Ground gas closeouts.
Okay, so the ground guests
The
are.
first and second stage are beginning to pressurize
I've
for
just been
launch.
told
We're
that
about 15 seconds away from that startup mode call out.
T-minus 1 minute and 1 minute. We should have startup anytime soon. Let's see.
Flight computer has entered startup.
Okay, flight computers
We
have
have
entered
confirmation
startup.
of startup. We're just waiting for launch director's go for launch call out.
Turksat 5A, Falcon 9, LD is go for launch.
Okay, we're go
And
for
you've
launch.
heard it. We're 30 seconds away. All systems are go for an on-time launch of Falcon 9 with the Turksat 5A satellite. Our first launch for this year.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
T-minus 15 seconds.
15 seconds. Come on.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition.
There it goes.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
It didn't look so good that liftoff, although as long as it's fine, it's fine. There were a lot of sparks coming out, but never seen that before, but there's the first time for everything. Could have just been because it was a night launch, I was able to see it
We're
more.
now 30 seconds into flight on the Falcon 9. All engines are running at full power. We are preparing to enter through our first major milestone after liftoff, Max Q. It's going to occur at T plus 1 minute 12 seconds. We're going to throttle those engines down. We've confirmed nominal status from the avionics team. Next, Max Q. That's when the vehicle experiences the greatest amount of dynamic pressure. We throttle those engines down, and afterwards we throttle them back up.
12 seconds
keep
to
dynamic
Max Q.
pressures below a certain level.
Supersonic.
Okay. That normally happens right before Max Q, which means that we are definitely 5 seconds until Max Q. 2, and sure that Max Q call out anytime now.
Max Q.
Okay, next
We've
up.
successfully crossed the Max Q threshold. Everything is looking good with the first stage's trajectory. Next, we're going to start our MVAC chill. This is going to help us prepare for the next 3 major events. They occur one after another. The first one, those 9 Merlin 1D engines are going to cut off. That's known as MECO, or main engine cutoff. Right after that, the first and second stage will separate, and then the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage will turn on. That's known as SES-1.
Okay, next up will be MECO, which will be happening at T plus 2 minutes and 34 seconds. 4 seconds after that, the first and second stages will separate, and then 8 seconds after that, we'll have SES-1.
Throttling down those Merlin 1D engines, you'll start to see that visual change and that plume you see on the screen.
Main engine cutoff.
It seems like we're behind. That's what it's doing. Should be happening around now. MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
Stage separation confirmed. And SCS-1. Okay, next up, we will have fairing deployment at T plus 3 minutes and 37
successful
seconds.
main engine cutoff, stage separation, and second engine start.
35 seconds.
Our next milestone is fairing deployment.
30
Those
seconds
two
till
fairing
that.
halves on the top of the second stage are no longer needed, and we'll jettison them to help expose the Turksat 5A satellite to space and attempt to recover those later on.
Second stage is on a nominal trajectory.
Okay, nominal trajectory of the second stage. Always good to hear. So yeah. The Griffins have deployed on the first stage, and the second stage we're preparing for fairing jettison in 5 seconds. We're a little bit behind, and fairing will jettison a little bit later.
Fairing separation confirmed.
And you saw there, we just jettisoned our 2 fairing halves. It's our first good view of Turksat 5A. It's now exposed to space, and those 2 fairing halves are heading back down to sea level.
Next up will be first stage entry burn begins at T plus 6 minutes and 17 seconds. So let everything do their job, and then we'll start worrying about the next step.
Joining, we're 4 minutes into
sit
flight
back
on today's
and
mission of
relax
carrying the
like me.
Turksat 5A satellite to its intended orbit on the Falcon 9. We're currently in the first of 2 planned MVAC burns. That's what you see on your screen currently. Not pictured here currently, but that's after stage separation. The first stage, we're attempting to recover it. Its velocity at separation was about 2,200 meters per second, or 5,000 miles per hour. To separate the first stage is still moving at such a high velocity, it continues to raise its altitude as it approaches its apogee, and then it will coast down a couple minutes before it starts its return back to Earth. Up next, what you'll hopefully see is the first stage's entry burn. This is the first major milestone for first stage recovery. For entry burn, we're going to relight the center of those 9 Merlin engines. It's actually engine number 9. And partway through this transition, we then ignite 2 more engines, engine 1 and engine 5, which means we have 3 total M1D engines helping slow down the vehicle as it passes into the Earth's increasingly thickening atmosphere. That burn will last about 30 seconds, and we're just about a minute away from that.
Okay, and next up, we will have the entry burn, and then we, according to the approximate trajectories.
And also not pictured here, those 2 fairing halves that are making their way down. It'll take a lot longer than it will for the first stage, but we will attempt to recover those later on in the evening.
Expected loss of signal, Kate.
Okay, expected loss of signal for the first stage. So anyway,
First stage is now less than 100 kilometers above sea level, continuing to make its way down.
okay. Then at T plus 8 minutes and 2 seconds, SECO 1 will happen, which is second stage engine cutoff number 1. Then 26 seconds after that, the first stage will land. And once again, this is all approximate, so we're not sure that this
Just
will
10
exact
seconds away
happen.
from entry burn. As you
Based off of
watch
previous
this here,
tests.
watch that exhaust expand as it goes from 1 engine to 3 engines. It'll sort of elongate.
That should be happening any
Stage
second.
1 entry burn startup.
There, then it just lights up. I love seeing that, especially in the dark. It's just like a little spark can
Entry burn
ignite
has
anything.
begun. All
That's
3
the
engines are
lesson
running
from that.
currently.
And we should have shut down in a couple seconds.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
Okay, we've got shut down.
You heard it, you saw it. Entry burn has shut down. Next, a couple milestones happening back to back. On the second stage on your screen, we're going to turn off that MVAC engine. It's known as SECO 1, or second engine cutoff 1. And right after that milestone, we're going to start our final first stage burn, the landing burn, hopefully culminating with a 4th landing of this particular first stage. Going back to SECO, we shut down the MVAC, and after that period, we actually allow the second stage to coast. This event preserves the fuel until we need it for that final burn, second engine start number 2, and it takes us to our targeted orbit for today's satellite deploy.
Yep, so I don't think we're going to be covering that. So
We're about 30 seconds away from SECO 1. And after that, only about 30 more seconds until we hopefully have a nice view of the first stage touching down on our just read the instructions autonomous drone ship.
Yep, hopefully there's no glitch like we've seen happen a couple times. So yeah.
Stage 2 FTS is saved.
Stage 2 FTS has been saved, which means that they know that everything's good. We're approaching Seco in a couple seconds.
Stage 1 landing burn. Start.
Landing burn startup
Landing
and
burn
Seco.
has started. Our second engine is also cut off, as you can see. We're just awaiting confirmation of good orbital insertion.
Okay, L2, we got the landing on camera. Come on.
And back on sea level, you can see here the drone ship. We have confirmation of good orbit on the second stage, and
Oh, a bit glitchy, but touchdown confirmed.
looks like we have a good landing on the drone ship as well. This is SpaceX's 71st successful first stage recovery. This particular booster's 4th successful recovery, getting ready for its 5th flight in the future. That's our secondary mission, vehicle reusability, but our primary mission is not yet complete. The second stage vehicle has now entered its first coast phase and will last about 18 minutes. After that, we're going to light that MVAC engine for a second time shortly after at about T plus 26 minutes, 51 seconds. For those of you interested in keeping an eye on where that second stage is throughout the coast phase, you can follow along with our animation for the next 18 minutes. Otherwise, we'll see you back here at T.
Okay, that does it for me. We hope you guys had a lot of fun watching this successful launch, 104th launch, meaning that it's the 102nd successful launch. So we hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds to get out of here. So let the countdown begin.